Okay, so hey guys, so I'm here in Berlin, and I'm here with Asal and Paul from Anonymous for the Voiceless, and so I'm giving you guys the chance to introduce yourself with one sentence.
Sure. My name is Asal. I'm 30 years old and I'm from Melbourne.
Paul, 33, Melbourne City.
How did you come up, Asal? I'm asking you this question. So, how did you guys come up with the idea of the cubes?
Well, we were first inspired by the Earthlings experience. So we saw their events and we were inspired to get out there and do something similar.
So, was it difficult, like to set it up, or how to organize the first event and to get together some volunteers, Paul?
We launched the first event. People came. I think the first event we garnered about 13 people, something around that figure. That wasn't difficult. But then the second event, more people came. It was at least 40 people, I remember. Yeah, getting the volunteers to come out wasn't difficult because that was the first time that Earthings Experience had even operated in Melbourne City. And that's how people saw it back then. They just saw it as Earthings Experience, and they just wanted to attend. So, yeah, the first couple of demos, we didn't have any problems getting people to come out. No.
Awesome, awesome. So, if you would basically narrow it down and explain to a person that doesn't know what a cube of truth is, so could you explain it to the viewers?
Yeah, so what we do is street activism. We do public outreach. What we do, we form a cube with people holding a laptop or a tablet or a sign wearing a mask, and we show footage from slaughterhouses, from dairy farms and the egg industry, sea animals, fur footage, things like that. So we try to cover everything.
All right, awesome. And so, how does the interaction with people, with bystanders, how does it look like?
Well, we have the outreach team, which is the second element to the demonstrations, and the outreach is beautiful because what we do is we pre-qualify the public. We make sure that they're willing to have a conversation with us, not at us, and not waste our time, essentially. We want to spend our time wisely and speak only to those people who can absorb this information. So we use our time effectively, and yeah, so we pre-qualify the public in that way. We let them watch for 30 seconds to a minute, then we swarm in and have a conversation with them just by having a chat with them, just like we're friends. We have a chat, ask them questions. Really, that's what it's about. It's about questions. Questions lead to answers, and people like to answer, and people like to come up with their own conclusions on their own. They like to make their mind up on their own. And so we've found that through this outreach, we get people to realize that veganism is the way to go. In fact, vegan activism is the way to go through their own answering of these questions. And then at the end, if we feel at the end of the conversation, if we feel that they have taken the issue seriously, then we keep a note, and at the end we get a tally of how many people we've convinced to take this issue seriously.
Yeah, awesome, awesome. So I'm pretty sure you actually have I don't know, like 1,000 different stories to tell of what were good experiences with bystanders. But if you had to narrow it down to one story that pops up in your mind, so what would it be for you?
Well, we just did an event in Barcelona, Spain, 2 days ago, and I had a really beautiful experience. I had three girls that I was talking to, and they were so open-minded. They actually came to me and started asking questions, and one of them was crying, and she asked if she could hug me. So she gave me a hug and a kiss, and she was so grateful. She kept saying, "Thank you so much for doing this," and they were definitely going to go look into it, and they said, "We want to be vegan." So that was really beautiful.
Awesome. And how about you, Paul?
Just one story?
Yeah, one story.
God, that's hard, man.
No, I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be like the best one, but one of the best. So just the first that pops into your mind.
One that's memorable is today I had a Canadian family, and the girl was vegan, the daughter was vegan, and then the father was not vegan, and she had been trying with him for like a year, and he wasn't budging. But then he was open in that moment. He was willing to have a conversation, and I gave him the whole thing from start to end, but like through question asking once again. And it was so effective that by the end of it, he said, "All right, I'm going to try this." And the daughter cried. Like, she was actually so happy because she'd been trying for so long. And she's like, oh my God, you've gotten through to him. She was like hugging her dad. and that was fucking awesome, man.
Yeah, sounds pretty awesome to me. So, what I like about the demos is so that you don't really have the aim to turn people vegan on the spot. So rather, just open them for the topic, and that so that they are willing to get some more information, right? But how often does it actually happens that persons go vegan on the spot? Do you have that experience?
Yeah, definitely. It's happened. I don't know. I can't put a number on it. I don't know how often it happens, but it's definitely happened a lot. That people go vegan. Sometimes they go vegan, they come back to volunteer. So that's also happened.
Awesome.
Yeah, because
awesome.
we don't promote just veganism, we promote vegan activism. And I think people pick up on that vibe almost instantly just from seeing us operate and the way that we operate. But the way that we communicate the message on outreach is to promote vegan activism. So yeah, many people out there. In Barcelona, there was one girl that jumped in the cube. She hadn't even gone vegan yet. She just jumped in the cube. Like, saw us, jumped in the cube, and then afterwards I did an interview with her, and she's like, oh, I'm not vegan. But yeah, after a good long chat, she's pretty much gonna go and research veganism now. But she skipped the veganism part and went straight into activism. A lot of that's happened, man. Since we started, that's happened a lot. Yeah.
Nah, that's actually awesome to hear. So you are, or basically we are using the Anonymous for the Voiceless mask, so the Guy Fawkes mask in there as well. And I got the question quite frequently, what does the Anonymous mask, so that is mostly associated with the hacker group, have to do with the activism that we do? So what do you normally respond?
Well, like you said, that mask belongs to, like, it comes from the movie V for Vendetta.
Yeah, right.
But Anonymous were, I think, the first to use the mask. And the reason why we decided to use the mask is because Anonymous usually are fighting against injustices, against corruption, war, and things like that. And we're fighting against the biggest injustice on the planet, which is animal cruelty. So that's why we went with the mask first.
Yeah, awesome. So why do you think, I mean, it's so that that whole chapter or that whole thing of Anonymous for the Voices has been, I don't know, how old is it? Like a little bit over a year, right?
I mean, we started in April of last year, but we didn't go global until October of last year. So we're less than a year into being an international organization.
And then how many cities actually do they take place, the events now?
Almost 150. The last time I checked, it's between 140 and 150, yeah. 150 cities.
Yeah.
Countries, 33 or 4 or something like that. 33.
That's really great. And you see the responses. So how many people took veganism seriously in that period of a little bit over a year? So how much is that roughly?
Over 20,000. I think the official figure is
292 at the moment.
Oh, wow. You even have that.
Yeah, because I do the stats, so I know, like 21,292, but that's from 2 weeks ago. So
Yeah, that's
2 weeks old, that figure. We're actually on average getting around 1,000 conversions a week. Yeah. That's me being conservative. It's usually over that.
We have 33 demos a week. So with 33 demos a week, we get about 1,000 people. Yeah.
You know what's crazy? Like, we got the AV tattooed on our neck when we got to 1,000, which took us 6 months to get to. In the first 6 months, and now we're at the stage where we're getting 1,000 every week.
Yeah, that's yeah.
So
that's really crazy. Yeah,
it's been exponential.
Yeah.
In the growth.
Yeah. Good to hear. So, why do you think? What is it that makes this form of activism so effective? What is it? Is it like more like the artistic approach with the masks? What, I don't know, catches the bystanders' attention, or what is it?
Yeah, I think it's a combination because we've paid so much attention to every single detail. So what we do is like an art performance. So when people see the cube, they're drawn to it, so they want to come and check it out. And also with the truth signs, we're not giving anything away. We're not telling people what we're showing. So they like to come out and check it out. And then we have the outreach aspect, which makes it even better and more effective, because after watching the footage, then we have someone that can explain, answer questions, and they can have a conversation with.
Yeah, that's quite personal as well, right? So, yeah. You want to add something to that, or?
Why I think it's so effective is the fact that it's badass. It's dope, you know? Like, when people see it, they just think that looks cool. It's people forming in a cube. They're wearing the anonymous mask, which everybody recognizes. It's iconic. The cube is also iconic because I'd never seen animal rights groups getting out onto the streets forming in cubes before. So that's new to the world. Or even not just animal rights, just activism groups in general. I'd never seen that before.
Yeah.
So it's new, it's different, it's a breath of fresh air. The outreach element too, I've never seen any event occur where you have not only an iconic formation, the cube, but on top of that you also have the outreach element where it's buzzing, everybody's having a conversation with somebody and educating the hell out of them. So that is also really fantastic, because I know that a lot of the frustration we have as vegans is that we try to talk to people about this issue and it falls on deaf ears. So what this does is enables us to get that conversation out there into the world with people who want to have that conversation. So people are excited at these events, and because they're able to have conversations that are going well. So activists really enjoy it. You know, I think that element is so important. The amount of enjoyability there is at the event, you know, and of course how much impact the events are making means that, I think that's the reason why I took off, is because people respond really well to the formation and the structure. Of course, professionalism is our whole thing, and that's one of the main reasons. You know, the more serious that we take it, the more people will take us seriously, and that's in a snapshot. I think that's why.
Yeah. So personally, what I really like about this type of demo is, so I had people participating who have been active for 20 years, and on the other hand, people that have never done a demo before. So especially those ones who haven't done a demo before, they normally go into the cube, and then they can actually watch and listen to the more experienced activists, how they're doing the conversation, and so they can actually learn on the spot from them. So this is what I really like about this forum. So this is what I think is really great. So but now you're in Berlin, actually, so that's like quite some distance to Melbourne. So how come you are here today?
Well, we decided to do a world tour. We did a fundraiser about a couple of months ago, and we raised some money so we could travel. Our plan is to travel around the world, go to as many cities as we can, and help them make their demos even more effective. And also we would like to start new chapters from scratch, so just show them how we do demos, help them get everything ready. So that's why we're here. We've been to UK, France, where else? Spain, and now we're here in Berlin.
Yeah, sounds pretty wild, pretty good. So you probably learned a lot of, so got to know a lot more people, right? A lot more activists.
You know, it's actually really hard to encompass exactly how much impact this has made, this world tour, because it's been so damn effective on so many levels. It's helped us as activists to level up, and has helped us in terms of AV. It's helped us to understand exactly how these demonstrations actually operate in different cities, being there firsthand and tasting exactly what it's like, and working with volunteers to see what organizers are dealing with, and you know what the challenges are in that specific city, and the language barriers, and you know the different responses and stuff. So but being able to work alongside organizers learning from us firsthand. It's one thing to write a manual, but it's another thing to show people exactly how to do these demonstrations. And I think, you know, if other organizations could do that, then I think the events would be more effective in those cities too. And this is like a dream for us. I mean, obviously when we started, many organizers kept saying, you should come and do a demo with us in our city, that'd be so great. But obviously, you know, it costs money to do that. So we were like, yeah, that would be great. But then, you know, we did finally put it into action. Yeah, it's been great. I mean, this whole thing has been extremely enjoyable, but extremely exhausting at the same time.
Yeah, I figured, yeah.
And so productive, which is the main thing. Like, we'll go away from this knowing that the main thing is that we were super productive throughout the whole thing. We helped a lot of people, helped a lot of... these events are going to run more effectively after we're gone, and that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, right. I agree. So I actually do have a letter here from our chapter that I wanted to give you. Yeah, so I do have a letter from our chapter at Ruhr area, and so I wanted to give it to you, and so that you read it aloud. It's not a long text, but I would like to read it aloud on camera, if it's fine for you. Okay. So I'm sitting on that at the moment. So I have that here.
Do you want me to read it?
Yeah, sure.
So this is from.
Yeah, you will see it here.
From Bochum. Bochum? Is
Yeah,
that
yeah, Ruhr area. So that's.
Ruhr area? Dear Asal, dear Paul, the AV Ruhr area chapter would like to thank you for all that you do for the vegan street activism movement. You have given us a form of effective activism where we received countless positive feedback from fellow vegans and non-vegans alike. We're making a difference. As a sign of our gratitude, we want to support the AV World Tour with a little gesture from all the activists of our chapter. All the best for the future. The AV Ruhr area chapter. Turn the letter over. Oh wow. Oh my god. Oh wow. That's amazing. Do you want to have a look?
What is it? So maybe Paul can tell.
What's on the back? Okay, it's a check for $600. That's what it is, dude.
This is crazy.
So, Ruhr, how do you pronounce that?
Ruhr.
Oh my god, and this is from. Oh man, this is amazing. I'm like struggling to process this. The thing is, Jesus Christ, dude, thank you, and thank you to your whole team. This means so much to us.
You're welcome. It's for a good cause. So I actually for all the activists. So I shared this video that you did for the AV World to the group, and then we had some people donating money, and yeah. So this is what it turned out to be.
Dennis, you're above and beyond, my friend.
Sure, you're very welcome. I mean, we have to thank you for actually doing such great activism and having such an impact. So.
But it's all reciprocated. Asal and I, we always look at each other and just say to ourselves, we're so grateful that we're able to work alongside such amazing people. Because where we're from, let's be honest, in the city we're from, there is so much politics and people are always infighting and there's egos galore. Okay? And if we had stuck to just doing local activism, we'd be depressed and burnt out by now.
Yeah.
But the fact that we're able to collaborate with such amazing people has just leveled us up. And so everything that you're saying is reciprocated 100%. It's definitely an honor and a privilege for us as well.
Yeah, awesome. So we hope that you can put the money to good use and that you can continue to support all the chapters at different cities and actually help them to make even a better impact.
Our promise is that this money will be put to very good use in the world. So, I mean, as you can see what we're doing on the World Tour, I mean, you can see it firsthand. I think it's just going to be more of what we're doing at the moment and continuing to be in as many cities as possible.
Yeah.
So,
Awesome. So thank you for the interview. Maybe you give me a hug, Asal.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
dude, thank you so much. And you dropped this
Sure,
on us
welcome.
on camera.
Yeah, sure.
It's not fair.
I mean, that's
you're a
the best
legend,
reaction
yeah.
that you will get. All right.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you for the interview once again.
Der Vorhang geht auf und die Sonne tanzt auf meinem Kopf. Sie dreht sich im Kreis.